Your hero is brave, skilled, and always doing the right thing. So why is she so unbelievably boring? I mean, you've built the perfect character, but for some reason your readers or your viewers just aren't connecting. It's a trap countless writers and screenwriters fall into. What if I told you there is one specific type of character flaw, a single moral crack in their armor that can transform a forgettable character into a character your audience will obsess over? Today, I'm going to show you the exact moment a boring hero becomes a legend, and how you can apply that same magic to your own stories. We've all heard the advice, write flawed characters. It's good advice, but it's incomplete. A character who's clumsy or scared of spiders doesn't have a flaw, they simply have a quirk. A quirk is like a funny hat, it's a decoration. A true flaw is a crack in the foundation of the building. It ignites an internal conflict that pushes a character's deepest beliefs right to the breaking point. Because audiences don't just connect with the character's strengths, they connect with their struggle. They see themselves in the messy, difficult choices, and that's where obsession begins. Section 1. Anatomy of a boring hero. Let's look at a character like Rey from the new Star Wars. In many ways, she is a model hero. She instantly powerful with the Force, a gifted pilot, and her moral compass is firmly ported towards the light side. She always wants to save the day, always tries to do the right thing, and never ever wants to compromise her noble code, protect my friends, and uphold the Jedi way. Now on paper, Rey is nearly perfect. But in a story, she's quite the snoozer or tranquilizer, isn't she? Why, you might ask? Well, it's because she has no true internal conflict. She faces Kylo Ren and other villains throughout these series, but she rarely faces a challenge from within, where the right answer isn't clear. Her choices are easy because her moral code is never really tested in a no-win scenario. The psychological reason for this runs deep. There's a concept called Pratfall Effect, discovered by psychologist Elliot Arson in the 1960s. He found that competent people who make mistakes are rated actually as more likable than those who appear flawless. Well, why, you might ask? Well, it's because perfection creates distance. Our brains are wired for connection, and connection requires vulnerability. When we see someone struggle, stumble, or fall, mirror neurons fire in our own brains. We literally feel what they feel. Now, a perfect hero offers no point of connection. We can admire them like a statue in a museum, beautiful and impressive, but also cold, made of stone. We can't see our own messy humanity reflected in their perfect image. Now, predictability is the silent killer of audience engagement. Section 2. The moral dilemma, forging a flaw. Now let's break Rey. I know a lot of people want to do that. Now, we're not going to give her a simple fear or a moment of anger. We have to attack her very core belief. Now, every great character operates on a moral code, a set of rules about right and wrong that guides their every move. Think of this code as the character's spine. It's what holds them upright. Now, the secret is to design a moral dilemma that forces them to bend until that spine snaps. Now, here is a potential setup for Rey. The First Order has captured her found family, Finn and Poe. They're being held in a fortress that is also an ancient Sith temple, a place seething with dark side energy. The only way to breach this fortress defenses and save them in time is to draw on the temple's power, perhaps performing a dark ritual that could save her friends, but would risk tainting her connection to the Force forever. Suddenly, her perfect moral compass is spinning out of control. It's like a train track splitting, with one path leading off of a cliff and the other path leading to an oncoming train. There is no right answer. If her only goal was to protect the galaxy from the dark side, she has to stand down. If her only goal was to save her friends at all costs, she'll tap into the darkness without a second thought. But her dueling desires to protect her friends, to resist the dark side corruption, create an impossible choice. This is the crucible where a character is truly forged. This kind of soul-crushing dilemma isn't unique to space operas. We see it brilliantly executed in the movie Prisons, where Hugh Jackman's character is a good family man until his daughter is taken. When the system fails, his desperation makes him abandon his own moral code and torture a suspect, creating a powerful and deeply disturbing character arc. The audience watches in horror, not because he's evil, but because we understand exactly why he's doing it. Section 3. The flaw revealed, from perfect to human. The choice Rey makes almost doesn't matter as much as the struggle with the choice. Let's say she uses the dark side ritual to save her friends. In that moment, she succeeds, yet she shatters her own identity. She's no longer the perfect hero. She's now a Jedi who's willingly wielded the dark side. This is where the true flaw emerges. It's not that she's suddenly evil. The flaw is the moral scar the choice leaves behind. Now picture this, Rey in the next battle, hand hovering over her lifesaver, frozen. She used to act on instinct. Now every instinct feels like it might be the dark side calling. She second guesses. She hesitates. That split-second doubt nearly gets her killed. Or maybe it goes the other way. She becomes arrogant, convinced she alone is strong enough to handle the dark side and not be consumed. She starts taking risks, making unilateral decisions, pushing her friends away because she can't trust them with the truth of what she has become. This inner demon is far more interesting than any First Order fleet she could have ever faced. The dilemma didn't give her a flaw, it revealed the one that was hiding there in plain sight. It's like putting a block of steel under immense pressure. The pressure doesn't create weak points, it just reveals where they were all along. Her unwavering belief in the light side was its own kind of flaw, a rigidity that left her unable to handle a morally complex world. Now, not every character needs to break in the same way. Now, some characters reveal their flaws by refusing the compromise. Take Jessica Jones from the Marvel series. When she was offered her power, control, a chance to end her suffering, she says no. She chooses the hard road, the one that keeps her trauma raw and bleeding, because her core belief is, I don't take the easy way, if it means becoming like him. That refusal reveals her flaw too, a self-destructive stubbornness that keeps her isolated and in pain. And then there are characters who make the wrong choice and never recover. Our friend Walter White from Breaking Bad starts as a sympathetic teacher trying to provide for his family. His moral decay begins with one necessary evil, then another. His initial flaw, pride, metastasizes into greed and a lust for power, turning him into a villain we can't look away from. We watch because we saw every single step of his descent. We understand, even if we don't condone the monster he became. Section 4, audience connection, rooting for the struggle. And this is where the magic happens. The audience who was bored by a perfect Rey is now completely captivated. Why? Because she's not a symbol anymore. She's a person. We're drawn to flawed characters because we're all flawed. A perfect hero is like a flawless, filtered social media post. We admire it, but we all know it's not the whole picture. A flawed hero is like a candid photo, messy hair and all, and that's where the real connection happens. When we watch a character grapple with an impossible choice, we see ourselves in them. We get the pain of having no good options. We connect with the internal battle, the doubt, and the regret. The audience isn't just rooting for Rey to win the next battle anymore. They're rooting for her to find some type of redemption. They're obsessed with the question of how she'll cope with the woman she has become. Will she be consumed by what she's done? Or will she find a way to build a new, stronger moral code from the ashes of her failure? Audiences are surprisingly forgiving when they see the why behind a bad decision, the vulnerability, the backstory, the chaos that led to it. The moral failure gives Rey a real character arc. Before, she was just a straight line. Now she's dramatic. She's unpredictable. And more importantly, deeply human. Section 5, the how-to, your 3-step guide to breaking your hero. So how can you actually use this in your own writing? It comes down to 3 steps. First one, identify your hero's core moral belief. You have to know what your character stands for. Don't just make them generically good. Give them one specific rigid rule they live by. Think of it as their North Star. For Batman, it was, I'll never kill. For Captain America, it's follow your conscience, even against orders. For Katniss, it's protect the people I love at all costs. The more rigid the belief is, the bigger the explosion when it finally breaks. Step 2. Create a dilemma that makes their belief impossible. Engineer a scenario where following their North Star leads them off a cliff. Force a choice between two things they're dedicated to. If their rule is never lie, put them in a spot where the lie is the only way to save someone they love. If their rule is protect my family, make them choose between their family and innocent strangers. Your goal is to create a truly no-win situation that shakes them to their core. Step 3. Show. Don't tell the internal fallout. The story isn't about the choice. It's about what comes next. The fallout is the echo of their broken rule. Don't just tell us the characters feel guilty. Show them having nightmares. Show them flinching when someone calls them a hero. Show them hesitating in future fights because they don't trust themselves anymore. Show how their relationships splinter because they aren't the person they used to be. This internal conflict, this new flaw, becomes the engine of your story and the source of your audience's obsession. Conclusion. In the end, the perfect hero is a myth. By taking your noble, brave, and slightly boring hero and shattering their moral certainty with an impossible choice, you didn't break them. You make them. You turn them from a forgettable archetype into a living, breathing character that your audience will obsess over, root for, and remember long after the story is done. Because the greatest heroes aren't the ones who are flawless. They're the ones who are flawed, who fail, and who have the courage to face what they've become. Think back to your own hero, standing at the beginning of your story, moral code intact. Now picture the moment when the code shatters. That's not the end of their story. That is where the story really begins. What's your main character's core belief? And what moral dilemma could you create to shatter it? Let me know that in the comment section below. And if you want more tips on how to craft unforgettable characters, be sure to hit subscribe and hit that notification bell. And as always, thanks for watching, and live well and write well.